runs up the Bat Devil's arms, slashing at the flesh. After sending the Bat Devil flying, Denji leaps into the air and disembowels the devil, killing it. He stands there in a shower of blood as the episode ends. The episode opens with our protagonist, Denji, waking up from his sleep, an orange chainsaw dog sleeping beside him. Also, Denji is broke as hell. Bro had to sell multiple organs including his eye, kidney, and left nut in order to pay back the debt that his dead father accrued from the Japanese Yakuza. To sum up his crappy situation, Denji is an amateur devil hunter, meaning he is constantly in life or death situations. Wearing his crusty old jacket and armed with his trusty chainsaw dog Pochita, Denji walks along a grassy path looking for devils. The only way Denji can save himself from the Yakuza is to constantly pay off his mountain of debt by killing devils and selling their corpses. Soon, Pochita begins growling, signaling that a devil is nearby. Denji crouches behind a crumbling wall as he observes the creepy tomato devil. The tomato devil has eyes peppered all over its body and multiple human arms moving it around. After killing the devil, Denji's debt barely goes down and his struggle continues. After eating a cigarette for pocket change, Denji is excited that he and Pochita can actually afford food with that minuscule amount of money. Nevertheless, he walks back to his shabby hut and eats a single slice of white bread for the day. Denji dreams of meeting a girl and actually having a girlfriend. This makes him extremely relatable, as I'm sure many of you wish for this too. Sadly, he can't even afford jam to put on his bread. In a flashback, we learn that Denji's father committed suicide because he couldn't pay off the loans from the Yakuza. This caused all of the debt to pile up on young Denji. If he doesn't pay off his father's loans, the Yakuza will kill him and sell his organs. Yikes. While grieving, Denji comes across a wounded Pochita and forms a contract with him by letting him suck his blood. The flashback ends, and a little while later, the old Yakuza boss shows up outside his door and tells Denji that he has another job for him. Following this, the old man leads Denji into a dark and suspicious warehouse, where it is revealed that it was a trap set by the zombie devil. After this sudden betrayal, Denji is stabbed through the back and he begins to bleed out. Denji tries to run away from the horde of zombies chasing after him, but they catch up and rip him to shreds. Unsurprisingly, Denji dies, but he has a vision where his chainsaw dog, Pochita, offers him a contract. Denji accepts and a strange power awakens within him. Denji revives inside a dumpster and cries out for Pochita, only to realize that his friend is now embedded inside him. As Denji pulls the chainsaw sword implanted in his chest, the horde of zombies piles up on top of him. Suddenly, the pile of zombies explodes and we see Denji, reborn as Chainsaw Man, with chainsaw sticking out of his arms and head, ready to tear the zombie devil a new one. With renewed strength and determination, Denji launches himself at the zombies and engages in a fierce battle. He unleashes a series of powerful attacks, using his chainsaw to slash and chop his way through the enemy ranks. Despite being vastly outnumbered, Denji refuses to back down and fights on with all his might. Battling for his life, Denji attacks the zombie devil and eventually manages to defeat it. After a long and arduous battle, the warehouse doors open and Denji is approached by Makima, a young woman in a long trench coat who works for the Public Safety Devil Hunter Agency. She hugs Denji and he is immediately smitten. Then he promptly passes out from exhaustion in her arms. The second episode of Chainsaw Man starts off with Denji and the female devil hunter Makima chatting in her car. Denji isn't a fan of how Makima treats him like a pet, but agrees to follow her rules. They stop at a rest stop for food, and Makima offers to pay since Denji is broke. As they wait for their udon, Denji starts to feel dizzy from the blood loss from his previous fight. He tells Makima about Pochita dying, and she reveals that she can sense Pochita is still alive inside of Denji. Denji faints again, and when he wakes up, Makima feeds him and laughs at the fact that he's just like a dog. Denji asks what kind of guy she likes, and she describes Denji, which causes him to fantasize about Makima for half the day. The two decide to head to the Tokyo headquarters for Devil Hunters in order to employ Denji, but he's too entranced by Makima to care. Once they arrive at the office, Makima gives Denji his new uniform and introduces him to his new colleague, Aki Hayakawa. Aki is a very stoic person and he doesn't seem to like our boy Denji. Denji follows Aki's lead, but he's disappointed he's not working with Makima. To cheer him up, Makima tells Denji that if he does a great job, maybe one day they'll work together. Later that day, Denji asks Aki if Makima has a boyfriend, and Aki takes Denji to an alley and proceeds to beat the stuffing out of him, telling Denji he should quit because he lacks the proper motivation for the job. After throwing him into a pile of trash bags, Aki spits on Denji and lights a cigarette. However, as soon as Aki turns, Denji goes in for the finisher and boots Aki in the balls. Aki collapses to the ground, but Denji's not done. He smashes Aki's nuts several more times, leaving him paralyzed on the ground. After demolishing Aki's chances of having children, Denji reports back to Makima, saying a testicle devil attacked Aki. This is a blatant lie, but it works. Despite their rocky start, Makima makes Denji an official member of Aki's unit and tells Aki that if Denji tries to resign or begins to disobey orders, he'll be killed off like any other devil. After getting off work, Aki takes Denji to his home, where Denji proceeds to eat his dream abomination toast dish. With over 8 types of spread on top of the bread, it looks like something straight out of a horror movie. Still, Denji scarfs it down in delight. The next day, the pair are called to a crime scene involving a fiend in East Nerima. Aki explains to Denji that fiends are possessed human corpses controlled by devils, and orders Denji to use his devil abilities to kill the fiend. Denji obliges but uses an axe to swiftly cut off the fiend's head instead of using his chainsaws. Aki thinks that Denji feels sympathy for devils and gives him a lecture while threatening him. It turns out the real reason Denji used an axe was so he could avoid getting blood on the erotic magazines lying on the ground. Denji starts thinking about his goals in life, and he finally comes upon the most important one of them all: touching some boobs. Denji reflects on how his life has improved since joining public safety, but still feels like something is missing. He wonders if his own goal of living a good life is even possible. The next day, Makima assigns Denji a new partner. With a magnificent entrance, his new partner is a slightly unhinged blood fiend named Power, who can control her blood and make weapons out of it. Denji is annoyed by her behavior, but all of his complaints evaporate as soon as he realizes that Power is a woman and has boobs. As you can tell, Denji is a true gentleman. Once they head out on patrol, Power smells blood and spots the sea cucumber devil. She excitedly jumps off the building, making a hammer out of her blood, and crushes the devil with the hammer, causing a bloody and messy scene. The third episode of Chainsaw Man picks up after Power smashes a seaweed devil to pieces with her blood hammer. Makima scolds them for killing a civilian hunter's devil, explaining that public safety would be found guilty of obstructing their business. During their debriefing, Makima reveals to Denji that Power is a fiend and he wonders if she's cut out for this line of work. Power and Denji argue, with Power lying and blaming Denji for the situation. In the meantime, Makima reminds them that she needs them to get along, or they will both be killed. After their meeting with Makima, Denji and Power go to get drinks from vending machines, and Denji expresses his frustration at working with a liar. Power admits that she hates humans because a devil's instinct, but she enjoys the company of cats. She reveals that a devil has kidnapped her cat, Meowie. Power tells Denji that she made a deal with Makima to save Meowie, and she'll let Denji touch her chest if he helps her rescue the cat. Denji, hearing this news, becomes hilariously enraged on behalf of Power, but we all know that he just wants to squeeze her boobs. He agrees and plans to murderize the devil holding Meowie hostage in order to touch Power's chest. At Public Safety HQ, Power gets permission to go out with Denji. She tells him where the devil is and insists that he's the only one who can fight it. Denji and Power talk about their pets, with Denji mentioning Pochita, and Power stating that Pochita is dead. Denji believes that he'll never get along with Power, but he puts up with her. Meanwhile, Makima meets with some suited men who are unhappy that other countries aren't pleased with Japan. They ask Makima about her new recruits. She answers that Denji is an interesting pup. The higher-ups give her a warning not to get attached to Denji before dismissing her. After the meeting, Aki drives Makima back to HQ and calls Denji disgusting. On the way there, Makima explains that the more feared a devil's name is, the more powerful they are. This means that Denji's Chainsaw Devil has the potential to be a powerful weapon. Aki criticizes Denji's desire to befriend devils and says that he isn't fit for the job. We cut to Power leading Denji to the devil's house. After a slip of the tongue, Denji becomes suspicious of the situation since her story doesn't add up. He realizes that Power has been lying to him and tries to attack her, but she knocks him out with a bloodhammer first. Power praises Denji's sharp instincts and drags him into the house. Inside, they meet the Bat Devil, who's been holding Meowie hostage. The Bat Devil reveals that he was injured by a devil hunter, which forced him into hiding. Power explains that she promised to give the Bat Devil a human in exchange for Meowie's freedom. The Bat Devil needs human blood to heal and drinks Denji's blood, finding it disgusting despite it healing his body parts. Denji's disgusting blood enrages the Bat Devil and he bursts out of the house to cleanse his taste buds with the blood of children. Denji remembers Aki's confusion about Denji wanting to befriend devils and he finally understands that he can't trust them. Power demands that the Bat Devil release Meowie, but he refuses because he didn't like Denji's blood. Power reminisces about her time with Meowie as the Bat Devil gulps down the cat in one go. She recalls how she formed a contract with the Bat Devil for Meowie's freedom, but it was all a lie. Power comes to terms with Denji's feelings about losing Pochita as the Bat Devil consumes Power. The Bat Devil heads to the city to find a child, a virgin, a muscular man, and a pregnant woman to eat. Denji grabs onto the Bat Devil's foot, and as they struggle, Denji thinks about his time with Pochita as a child and relates it to Power's attachment to Meowie. He transforms into Chainsaw Man and crashes into a building in the city. Lying in the rubble, Denji tells a nearby schoolgirl to run away, and the Bat Devil is confused about why a devil is helping humans. Denji replies that the reason he is helping humans is so that he can kill the Bat Devil and cop a feel. Denji promptly slashes off the Bat Devil's arms, but during the battle, the Bat Devil throws a car with a person inside at Denji and he retracts his chainsaws to catch the car. However, he throws the car back at the Bat Devil, saying he doesn't care about saving a random dude. The Bat Devil unleashes a powerful sonic attack, but Denji revs his chainsaw sword and regenerates from the blow. The Bat Devil is terrified by Denji's regeneration and tries to punch him. Denji quickly dodges and runs up the Bat Devil's arms, slashing at the flesh. After sending the Bat Devil flying, Denji leaps into the air and disembowels the devil, killing it. He stands there in a shower of blood as the episode ends. In episode 4 of Chainsaw Man, we flash back to Power's past as she runs down the road, reflecting on why she is so determined to save Meowie. Power suddenly realizes that, for the first time, she feels a sense of comfort from an animal companion who has stayed by her side. This feeling is the main driving force behind Power's mission to rescue Meowie from the clutches of the Bat Devil. In the present, Power wakes up in the remains of the Bat Devil with Denji holding her and Meowie. Power inquires why Denji saved her, and Denji makes a squeezing hand sign, revealing his true intention. With a mischievous grin, Power tells Denji he can touch her chest, and he celebrates in joy. Unfortunately, in the midst of his excitement, one of his arms gets blown off and consumed by the Leech Devil. Desperately, Denji asks Power if she can move, to which she answers that she can't. Denji attempts to transform into Chainsaw Man, but fails due to his dwindling blood supply. Denji confronts the Leech Devil, who is enraged that he killed her beloved Bat Devil. She offers to let him go if he agrees to be her new boyfriend, but insists that Meowie and Power must die. Denji refuses her offer and attacks the giant worm. The Leech Devil scoffs at Denji's efforts and taunts him by divulging her and the Bat Devil's shared dream of wiping out humanity. Denji says he won't stop fighting, and Power is surprised at the lengths he would go to touch a woman's chest. Denji continues battling with his hands, but he isn't strong enough, and the Leech Devil stabs Denji through the chest with her tongue. Before she can consume him, Aki arrives and makes a summoning hand gesture. Out of nowhere, a giant fox head appears and bites off the Leech Devil's head, dropping Denji. The Fox Devil asks Aki if they can consume the Leech Devil, and Aki permits it. With the Leech Devil eaten, Aki confirms its extermination while 3 other public safety operatives stand next to him. He assigns the rookies the task of safely evacuating everyone in the area. Aki promptly grabs Denji and drags him away. After glancing back at the cat, he orders someone to send Meowie to the veterinarian as we cut to Denji's hospital room. Aki tells Denji that the doctors reattached his arms thanks to his regeneration. Meanwhile, Denji notes that Aki is friendly with the Fox Devil. However, Aki tells him devil hunters form contracts with devils to grow stronger and fight against other devils. Aki reveals that in exchange for his skin, he can summon the Fox Devil at will. Furthermore, Aki confirms that they tracked Denji and Power's movements through surveillance cameras, and that the Bat Devil's house had Denji's spilled blood. Meanwhile, the people saved by Denji have mixed opinions, but most of them are grateful for his acts. Aki tells Denji that if he listens to him, he won't report Power and him to Makima and the higher-ups. Without hesitation, Denji agrees to Aki's offer as Aki departs his room to free Power from her handcuffs. One of Aki's co-workers wearing an eye patch isn't sure it's the best decision to trust Power, but Aki insists they give her another chance. Later that day, Aki visits Makima and informs her about what had occurred between Denji, Power, and the Bat Devil. Makima thanks Aki for his report and notes that it was odd that Denji and Power went farther from their assigned route. Aki makes an excuse to cover for them, but Makima says leaving the approved area is against regulations. As a response, Aki says that Makima should overlook the scenario because no one died, and they defeated 2 devils. She agrees, but before he goes, Makima notices that Aki is starting to get influenced by Denji's personality. He denies it and leaves. In the morning, Aki and Denji go about their daily lives. Suddenly, Power breaks Aki's door and remarks how pitiful his home is. Makima calls Aki and tells him that she's forcing Power to live with him and Denji. Makima feels it would be best for Power to stay with the 2, but many problems arise from Power's arrival. She refuses to eat vegetables, doesn't flush, and won't take showers. This annoys Aki and Denji, but later at night as Denji is cleaning the bathroom, Power reminds Denji about their deal. She gives him 3 squeezes, and Denji is excited. Although she didn't plan on allowing Denji to feel her chest, she explains that he gets 1 squeeze for saving Meowie, 1 for slaying the Bat Devil, and 1 for protecting her from Aki. The episode concludes with Denji declaring Power to be an angel. Now, before we see Denji achieve his dream, take a moment to comment down below your answer to the question of the day. The question of the day is Denji the best main character? Let us know what you think in the comment section below. Every video we will pick 1 comment for a shout out. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video for more content and a chance to be chosen. Now, on to the video. Denji proceeds to squeeze Power's chest 3 times, and Power congratulates him for his achievement. Power promises to aid Denji with his duties and leaves the room. Despite what he just did, Denji feels empty inside, as it wasn't as satisfying as he hyped it up to be. The following day, Denji and Power go to work. Denji is still dumbfounded by what happened last night. As he is stamping paperwork, Makima asks him what's been bothering him. Denji confirms that he doesn't know what to do after accomplishing his short-lived dream and worries he'll be disappointed again. Makima begins to guide Denji's hand around her face, asking him questions about what he feels. At the end of their exchange, she put his finger in her mouth and bites it softly. This leaves Denji dumbfounded and in a state of shock. After their interaction, Makima asks Denji to perform a task for her. Makima begins recounting how the Gun Devil launched a terrorist attack on America and it became the most powerful devil in the world. Not only did the fear of guns rise, but so did the fear of devils in general. This made devil hunting much more dangerous, and if the Gun Devil died, the world would be a lot safer. She tells Denji that if he can neutralize the Gun Devil, she'll make any of his wishes come true. Denji is surprised that she would offer up a blank check to him. Continuing on, Makima explains that people tried profiting off guns as a countermeasure against devils, but this increased crime and conflict in the world. That day, the attack on America occurred, and the gun devil appeared. In a flashback, we see two brothers having a snowball fight outside. The brothers stop playing after the younger one's hand starts growing numb from the cold. The older brother tells him to head inside to grab a glove, and they wave at each other happily. Suddenly, the house is blown to smithereens by a snowstorm. Makima continues narrating her tale as it is revealed 1.2 million people were killed in under 5 minutes. Since that day, the gun devil hasn't reappeared, but the fear of devils skyrocketed and made them all stronger. Denji promises he'll wipe out the gun devil for Makima, and she informs him that they'll need to track its whereabouts first. She shows Denji some bullet pieces dropped from its attack years ago. Makima explains that consuming these bullets will make any devil more powerful. Not only that, she tells him that once they reach a certain size, they'll get attracted to the original body and they will finally be able to find the gun devil. Meanwhile, Aki and one of his comrades have defeated a fish devil and found that it had consumed one of the gun devil's bullet pieces. Aki tells him it doesn't matter how the fish devil ate the bullet, as it's more important that they keep murdering all devils until none remain. We then get confirmation that Aki was the older brother in the snowball fight flashback. Later that day, Denji, Power, Aki, and his co-workers travel to a hotel where a new devil murdered several civilian devil hunters. Since Makima believes it could have eaten one of the gun devil's bullets, she sent them all there to investigate. After Denji and Power keep annoying Aki, he hands them some gum in order to get them to shut up. One of Aki's co-workers asks if it's okay to trust these two, and Aki says that they should focus on the mission. He goes on to say that if they try to run, they can kill Denji and Power. Denji, Power, and Aki get into an argument, but the agent with an eye patch named Himeno decides to calm everyone down by offering a deal. Whoever can murder the devil in the hotel will win a kiss on the cheek from her. Denji ponders it over, but he remembers his love for Makima and tells Himeno that he has his sights set on someone else for a first kiss. After his bold declaration, Himeno walks up to Denji and whispers she'll give him a French kiss if he defeats the devil inside the hotel. In an instant, all thoughts of Makima disappear from his mind as Denji happily walks into the hotel, eagerly searching for the devil. The fact that Denji might win the kiss infuriates the male public safety agent, as he states that he is already indebted to Himeno and won't allow Denji to steal her lips. He shoves Denji into a corner and races ahead to kill the devil first. Power joins the banter, while the brown-haired Kobeni tries to calm them down. Meanwhile, Aki asks Himeno about her thoughts on the rookies. We learn that the male public safety agent's name is Arai. Himeno says he's not super talented, but he's highly motivated. Next, we discover that the brown-haired agent is named Kobeni. Himeno says Kobeni has athletic ability, but is too timid. Himeno asks Aki if he thinks they'll last. After a second, Aki gives a vague response and Himeno tells him he better not die. In a flashback, we see Himeno standing in front of her previous partner's grave. A mysterious old man arrives, introducing her new partner, a young Aki. Himeno tells young Aki he'll be her sixth partner since the others died for being useless. In the present, the group arrives at a hotel door and Himeno feels the devil's presence behind it. Suddenly, the devil walks out from a different door. It has a human head and walks on a human hand and foot. It attacks Kobeni, but Himeno stops it with her telekinetic powers. Power slices it in half and brags about her achievement. At the same time, Himeno confirms she's actually the one who killed it because she formed a contract with the ghost devil. Explaining further, Himeno says she sacrificed her right eye in exchange for being about to use the ghost's telekinetic right hand. As the group walks upstairs, Power boasts how it's unwise for Himeno to reveal her abilities to everyone. Himeno replies that she has many other tricks up her sleeve. Taunting Himeno, Power asks her what Himeno would do if she tried killing Kobeni. Himeno grabs Power by her neck with the ghost hand and begins strangling her. In the meantime, the gang laughs at Power for being so stupid. They continue searching for the real devil since it couldn't have been the human head creature. As they reach the next floor, Arai notices the same puddle of blood from the previous floor. Slowly, he begins to realize that something is wrong with the hotel and rushes down another flight of stairs. As soon as he reaches the end, he ends up back where he started, and the gang discovers that they are stuck in a repetitive cycle. The episode concludes with everyone completely confused as they are trapped in the endless hotel. Following this revelation, Himeno and Aki double-check and confirm that they are indeed trapped in an endless loop. Accordingly, they head into a nearby hotel room to discuss the plan going forward. After testing different means of escape, Aki gives them a rundown of the situation. Denji blames Power for killing the walking head, and they begin to squabble. Arai suggests waiting for public safety to save them, but this option is ruled out as time seems to be frozen. The whole situation causes Kobeni to be extremely stressed, and she begins to break down. While crying, she reveals that her parents forced her to become a devil hunter to pay for her brother's college. Power laughs at Kobeni's misery while Himeno tries to comfort her. After a while, Aki informs the others that the devil can freeze also time on the 8th floor since the clocks in the room haven't moved past 8:18. With this information, Denji takes advantage of the situation and goes to sleep. Later, Himeno wakes him up and informs him of their current situation. Their food is running out, and everyone is running out of hope. Arai and Kobeni are resting in the same room, while Aki is searching non-stop for the devil. Power, Himeno, and Denji decide to monitor Arai and Kobeni from a different room, when Himeno lights a cigarette. Denji notices Himeno smoking the same brand as Aki, and she confirms she's the one who influenced him to smoke. In a flashback, Himeno urges a young Aki to smoke since it would help him boost his social skills. He refuses since he's a good boy who doesn't want to die of lung cancer. Himeno tells Aki that she knows he became a devil hunter to get revenge on the gun devil for killing his family, and that he shouldn't die on her. The following day, Aki sees Himeno getting slapped by her former partner's girlfriend. Aki rushes to her aid, but Himeno says it's okay. She explains that lashing out at devil hunters is someone's way of getting back at the devils that killed their loved ones. Aki leaves her for a moment and sticks gum in the woman's hair as revenge. Once he comes back, Aki informs Himeno of what he did and says she shouldn't feel guilty or tolerate their rude behavior. Later that day, when the two go to a restaurant, Himeno tells Aki that she believes he'll last longer than her former partners because of his spirit. Himeno hands Aki a cigarette and persuades him to smoke it despite his stance on smoking. In the present, Aki returns to their meeting room and asks Himeno for a cigarette. She gives Aki the cigarette in her mouth, causing Denji to call it an indirect kiss. After a deep inhale, Aki tells the crew the bad news. It turns out that the devil Power slew earlier has returned and is immensely larger than before. The gang rushes outside after hearing a loud noise, and they encountered the transformed devil. Our protagonists stare at the amorphous blob with numerous faces embedded into its fleshy body. It speaks and demands they surrender Denji. Furthermore, it promises to let everyone go if they comply. At this declaration, Kobeni exits the room with a knife in her hand and tries to give Denji to the devil. She attempts to attack Denji, but Himeno and Aki subdue her. Aki tries to summon his fox devil, but realizes it won't work. They're cut off from the rest of the world. Himeno confirms the fox devil's body is in Kyoto and summons her ghost to fight the Eternity Devil. She does some damage, but it only makes the head devil's body expand. The Eternity Devil confirms that Denji and the others are in the devil's stomach, and that it has no weaknesses on the 8th floor. The only way they can kill it is by destroying its heart. Denji mocks the Eternity Devil, saying it'll just kill everyone anyway. Himeno refutes his claim, but the Eternity Devil uses the term contract in its demands. When a deal is made, both sides must comply. She explains that if one side defies the contract, they will die. Finally, Arai exits the room and tells Himeno they should accept the Eternity Devil's wishes. He states that devil hunters are legally allowed to make contracts with devils and wants to sacrifice Denji to escape. Aki argues against Arai's wishes, stating that forking over Denji would benefit the Eternity Devil. However, Power suggests killing him in order to fulfill her noble prize dream. Despite this, Aki confirms that fiends cannot make pacts with devils. As a result, they decide to keep Denji alive and wait it out in order to strategize. Aki wants to use his sword, but Himeno argues against it, much to Denji's confusion. Meanwhile, in the other room, Arai, Power, and Kobeni get into a heated argument about whether or not to feed Denji to the Eternity Devil. In a crazed state, Kobeni plans to murder Power, but Arai tells her to stop. This enrages Kobeni and she accuses Arai of being a spy for the devils. During the altercation, Kobeni gives out a loud scream, enticing the head devil to act. As it chases Denji, Himeno, and Aki down the hallway, the Eternity Devil confirms that it will continue to grow the more they fear it. Additionally, it also reveals its true name as the Eternity Devil to our protagonists. Suddenly, the Eternity Devil causes the floor to turn vertically. Luckily, Aki, Denji, and Himeno escape into a room before it completely shifts. On the other side, Kobeni urges them to make the contract with the Eternity Devil. Before Aki can use his sword, Himeno uses her Ghost Devil to restrain Aki, confusing Denji. Himeno tells Denji that Aki will lose years of his life if he uses his sword and that she doesn't want him to die. Meanwhile, Kobeni, Arai, and Power utilize the floor's inversion to reach the others. Before Kobeni strikes Denji with her knife, Aki protects him by using his body to shield Denji. Everyone is shocked by Aki's actions and admits that though Denji deserves to be stabbed, he needs Denji to survive so he can help Aki murder the Gun Devil. Denji tells Power to staunch the bleeding and she begrudgingly helps Aki. After seeing Aki wounded, Himeno has a mental breakdown and starts to panic. Kobeni yells at Denji that everything is his fault, and Denji decides to fight the Eternity Devil, but tells Himeno that she better give him a kiss when he's finished. Denji plans to transform into Chainsaw Man, and he tells the others that the Eternity Devil must be afraid of his chainsaws because it asked for the others to kill Denji themselves. Denji plans to tear it to shreds until it can't take any more pain. He hopes it'll want to stop the pain from the chainsaws and allow Denji to kill it. Before he jumps, Denji tells Aki that he hopes this makes them even, and the episode concludes with Denji leaping out of the room and into the Eternity Devil's mouth. The ultimate showdown is about to unfold in Chainsaw Man. Will the fearless Denji rise to the occasion and conquer his mission, or will the formidable Eternity Devil prove too powerful for even him to defeat? The tension is palpable as we eagerly await the next nail-biting episode. Get ready to hold your breath and witness the intense battle between the devilish forces. Don't miss the recap of this epic battle, coming to you soon. Episode 7 of Chainsaw Man begins with Denji transforming into Chainsaw Man and tearing into the Eternity Devil. Power warns the others that Denji might be in danger due to his chainsaws retracting if he loses too much blood. Everyone watches the brutal scene from a distance as Himeno reflects on a conversation she had with a fellow public safety officer while burying one of her deceased colleagues. In the flashback, they discuss how crazy devil hunters are feared by devils because they are unhinged and don't fear devils. The old man tells Himeno to take care of Aki before he leaves. Later that day, Himeno asks Aki over dinner if he would join the private sector with her. She tries to convince him to abandon his pursuit of the Gun Devil. Aki declines her offer as Himeno smokes. Himeno is concerned that Aki will die in his pursuit of the Gun Devil and doesn't want him to die. Returning to the present, Denji continues to fight the Eternity Devil. During the battle, he drinks the Eternity Devil's blood and discovers that it can heal him. This creates a perpetual motion machine of Denji bleeding and healing as he cuts into the Eternity Devil. Himeno is impressed by Denji's determination and believes he can stop the Gun Devil. 3 days pass and the group is still trapped in the hotel. Himeno checks on everyone's condition and decides to sleep next to Aki. Eventually, the Eternity Devil gives up and reveals its heart to Denji, hoping to end the pain. Denji slices its heart in half, allowing them to escape the hotel. Denji finds a piece of the Gun Devil's flesh that the Eternity Devil had consumed, but he collapses shortly after. Himeno carries Denji as she and Power take them to the hospital. Later that day, Himeno and Aki discuss holding a welcome party to celebrate the formation of their new division. Himeno thinks it might convince Kobeni and Arai to stay and not quit. They feel guilty for fearing devils and wanting to kill Denji, so this is a good opportunity to make amends with Denji and the rest of the group. Aki kills another devil and shows Himeno a piece of the Gun Devil he found within it. Aki tells Himeno that they must have the party this week because he wants to invite Makima before she leaves for a work trip. Makima wants to gather reinforcements because many devils seem to be drawn to Denji's abilities. Himeno questions Aki about Makima's mysterious interest in Denji, but Aki doesn't know. At the party, everyone celebrates with food and drinks. Kobeni arrives late, and Himeno mentions that Makima will be stopping by later. As Denji looks at the menu, he remembers that Himeno promised to kiss him and brings it up. Himeno tells him she'll kiss him after she gets drunker. One of Denji's coworkers asks him to introduce himself. Denji reveals that he's 16 years old and adores eating and sleeping. Arai states that he's 22, has a contract with the Fox Devil, and enjoys writing haikus. Denji is confused as Aki already formed a contract with the Fox Devil. However, Aki explains that the Fox Devil is kind and sets up contracts with many devil hunters. Kobeni reveals that she is 20 and enjoys eating tasty food, but cannot disclose her contract with her devil. Himeno asks a devil hunter named Fushi about his rookie's whereabouts, but unfortunately, his rookie passed away yesterday. Arai and Kobeni grow concerned as one of the devil hunters explains that people die easily because they can't handle their devils. Himeno makes a joke about her promise of a kiss to Denji, while another member explains that Himeno kissed everyone except the rookies, and Denji can't wait to receive a kiss from her. Suddenly, Makima arrives and spooks Denji. Denji denies kissing anyone because he doesn't want to upset Makima. Himeno asks if they're going to kiss, causing Denji to immediately change his stance and agree. Makima asks him about kissing, but Denji doesn't want her to see him kiss Himeno, so he changes the subject and tells Makima he found a piece of the Gun Devil. Aki notes that more devils with Gun Devil pieces are appearing and targeting Denji. He asks Makima if she knows something about Denji, but she'll only tell him if Aki can outdrink her in a challenge. Himeno joins in the challenge as they all have a drink-off. One of the devil hunters is amazed by Power's ability to suppress her violent tendencies. Power argues that it's because she has a high IQ, but when the member asks Power what her IQ has, the discussion turns into a full-on gaslighting session. Himeno turns toward Denji's way, and the two make out. However, Denji soon realizes he's not tasting her tongue, but her barf. Everyone laughs at him for having puke as his first kiss. In a flashback, a young Denji is scavenging for food with Pochita and notices a gang of rats eating someone's vomit. He laughs at them as we transition into the present with him in the restroom throwing up. Denji is upset that his first kiss tasted like barf and continues to vomit into the toilet. The party concludes and Makima asks where Denji is. Someone informs her that Himeno took him somewhere as he is carried on her back. Denji awakens at night, asking for some water. Himeno gets on top of him and gives him a beer via her mouth. Himeno asks Denji why he's so infatuated with Makima since he can do better than her. Continuing to vent, Himeno knows that he and Aki both fawn over Makima and Himeno expresses her annoyance. After her rant, Himeno lies next to Denji and whispers if he wants to do it. Denji asks what it is, and the episode concludes with Himeno asking Denji to have intercourse with her. Oh boy, before we get to see this steamy scene, take some time to answer the question of the day. Who is the best girl of Chainsaw Man? Let us know what you think in the comment section below. Every video we will pick one comment for a shout out. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video for more content and a chance to be chosen. Now, onto the video. Denji questions if this is a good idea while Himeno undresses him, but he decides to go along with it anyway. As she takes off his clothes, Himeno finds a strange lollipop in Denji's pocket. Meanwhile, we receive a flashback from the welcome party, where Makima tells Denji to get some fresh air. Outside, Makima hands Denji medicines for nausea and sticks the same lollipop Himeno found inside Denji's mouth. She doubts Denji will ever get the taste of puke out of his mind, but he won't need to worry since he'll experience new things that will help him avoid remembering the barf kiss. Makima says that her cola-flavored lollipop counts as his first indirect kiss, and this only makes Denji want her more. In the present, Denji decides not to have intercourse with Himeno as he wants his first to be Makima. In the morning, Himeno and Denji head outside to enjoy breakfast. Denji confirms that he loves Makima and that's why he refused Himeno's company. Himeno offers to help Denji get together with Makima if he helps her win Aki's affection. Denji agrees to the deal and the two become accomplices in their quest for love. We cut to a train where one of Makima's coworkers informs her that they'll arrive in Kyoto in 30 minutes. Suddenly, a group of men with guns open fire on Makima and her coworker on the train. Makima slumps in her chair with a bullet hole in her head, seemingly dead. We then see a montage of Denji and the others carrying on with their lives, but more random people begin to pull out guns and shoot the devil hunters. At a restaurant, Power, Aki, Himeno, and Denji discuss what happened between Himeno and Denji. Himeno tells them that nothing sexual happened because Denji is a gentleman. A nearby customer taunts our heroes for enjoying their ramen, angering Power. The man with sideburns reminisces about his deceased granddad, who worked as a Yakuza member, and the plot thickens. Sideburns pulls out a photo of him and his granddad and shows it to Denji. It turns out the old Yakuza boss's grandson has come for revenge against Denji for killing the zombie devil and his grandpa. Sideburns mentions that the gun devil is after Denji's heart and draws a pistol, shooting Denji in the skull and opening fire on everyone else. Power uppercuts Sideburns as Aki summons the fox devil to eat the attacker. Sideburns' attack leaves Denji and Himeno wounded as Fox Devil tells Aki that she doesn't like the taste of Sideburns since he's not human or a devil. Without warning, a katana rips open the Fox Devil's head and we see Sideburns transform into the menacing Katana Man. He looks like Denji but with katana sticking out of his head and arms instead of chainsaws. Aki and Katana Man exchange blows as a devil counts down Aki's sword strikes. One Katana Man has been struck 3 times. The cursed devil grabs Katana Man and kills him. Power tells Aki that Himeno needs a doctor. Aki is shocked that Sideburns had a pistol because only devil hunters and officers can have them in Japan. Aki remembers the man mentioning the gun devil and puts the pieces together. Before Power can take Himeno to the hospital, a woman wearing a hoodie appears. She knows that Aki made a pact with the cursed devil, and they assume that getting hit by his sword enough times will cause you to die instantly. The woman revives Katana Man and tells him to kill Aki properly this time. Katana Man gets into a crouched position and strikes Aki in the blink of an eye. Aki collapses as blood flies out from his wound. Himeno asks Power to help him, but Power knows it would be suicide to intervene. Himeno calls upon her ghost devil, but it refuses to engage them because of the Katana Man's female companion. Himeno promises the ghost devil that she'll give it everything she has in order to protect Aki. With this promise, the ghost devil attacks Katana Man while Himeno talks about death, her time with Aki, and her past devil hunter comrades. Bit by bit, Himeno loses parts of her as sacrifices to the ghost devil. As Katana Man fights against the empowered ghost devil, the woman wearing a hoodie reveals she made a contract with a snake devil, and a giant snake appears. Himeno begs Aki to keep living since she doesn't have any time left. Without mercy, the woman orders the snake devil to consume the ghost devil, and it eats the smiling ghost, leaving just the head. The woman orders the snake to leave, and Snake Devil disappears along with any traces of Himeno. The episode concludes with Aki glancing over at Himeno's empty clothing in shock at her abrupt death. Suddenly, Denji awakens as Chainsaw Man and attacks Katana Man. Both the woman and Katana Man are after Denji's heart, and they engage our protagonist. Power has already fled the scene as more Yakuza arrive to assist Katana Man. Denji grabs one of the henchmen and threatens to hurt him if Katana Man dares move. Not caring, Katana Man slices Denji in half alongside his Yakuza comrade, and Denji falls to the ground. Katana Man grabs the handle on Denji's head as he asks his other comrade to prepare a car for him as he returns to normal. He remarks how devil hunters are like humans and can't win against guns. We cut to a montage of all the dead devil hunters, including Makima, as all hope seems to be lost. However, when the men who shot her plan to escape, Makima appears behind them, unharmed, and the assailants are killed. Meanwhile, the 2 public safety officials named Kurose and Tendo await at the subway and are astounded that Makima is still alive. Makima informs them of what happened and lets them know the blood she's covered in isn't hers. Makima tells Kurose and Tendo that she feels that the enemy is after Denji and to get ready. Makima asks Kurose to borrow 30 convicts with life sentences or worse from the Ministry of Justice and asks Tendo to reserve the closest temple with the highest altitude. Later, when they arrive at the temple, Makima puts on new clothes. Tendo informs Makima that the convicts are on their way, and Makima says that she'll be there soon. The convicts arrive at the temple just as Sideburns and his allies are taking Denji to their car. Suddenly, one of the men begins to panic as he feels that something is wrong. Without warning, he is crushed flat in front of his comrades, leaving nothing but a flattened bloodstain and crumpled clothes. The startled woman contacts the other teams and asks them to report Makima's body. However, one of the men says the team tasked to murder Makima hasn't responded back. Mysteriously, this man is also crushed to death. Meanwhile, Makima is shown making hand gestures while the convicts, Tendo and Kurose, are blindfolded. Kurose asks why they're wearing blindfolds, and Tendo explains that they're not allowed to see or know about Makima's devil contracts. Makima asks a convict to say the name of one of Katana Man's henchmen, and he complies. As Makima performs a twisting hand motion, one of Katana Man's henchmen starts folding up and explodes in a shower of blood. The man who said Shuzo's name falls, dead. Makima walks over to another convict and asks them to say Takashi Inoue, and the same fate happens to another one of Katana Man's comrades. Makima repeats the process as more convicts and henchmen perish. When she's completed her ritual, Makima tells Tendo and Kurose to take their blindfolds off. Makima says that she needs to return to Tokyo since she can't do anything more. Katana Man tells the Snake Woman that they must flee, but he freezes at the appearance of Kobeni. In a flashback, we see Kobeni's encounter with a Yakuza elderly woman. Kobeni survived the ambush, and she asks the woman and Katana Man if they're allies with the shooters. The woman summons her snake devil to attack Kobeni, but she dodges the attack with insane agility. Kobeni swiftly cuts Katana Man's hand off and grabs Denji, using his body as a shield. The woman and Katana Man flee the scene while Kobeni continues firing shots at their vehicle. Kobeni apologizes to Denji for attempting to kill him the other day and recalls the earlier ambush before having a mental breakdown. We cut to a flashback of Arai pushing Kobeni out of the way as the grandma Yakuza shoots the man. Back in the present, Kobeni decides to tell Himeno that she'll be quitting because she can't handle the job. Meanwhile, Makima, Tendo, and Kurose meet another comrade named Madoka, who also survived his exchange with the Yakuza. Madoka tells Makima that Special Divisions 1, 2, 3, and 4 were attacked and that everyone except for the non-humans is dead. Makima assumes the Gun Devil played a role in their assault since the criminals utilized guns. Madoka also reports that Divisions 1, 2, and 3 will combine into Division 4 and be under Makima's command. Madoka hands Makima his resignation letter, saying that the Special Division feels like bad news. Before Makima departs, Madoka asks her how much of this incident she anticipated. Makima says she can't share that information with him since he is retired now, and thanks him for his services. The episode concludes with Tendo and Kurose telling Makima that they won't be joining her special division unit, but Makima says that it's a shame they won't be able to visit all the great restaurants in Tokyo. Uncover the mystery. Who is the mastermind behind this vicious ambush? Our heroes have suffered a major setback, but how will they bounce back? After recovering from the ambush, Denji and Power wait for Aki to awaken from his hospital bed. As the two fight over an apple, Aki asks who from Division 4 survived. Denji informs him that everyone but Himeno survived the ambush. Before departing with Power to visit Makima, he leaves Aki an apple beside his bed. Aki unsheaths his sword and asks the Curse Devil how many years he has left to live. The devil tells him he has 2 years left before his death. As the shock wears off, Aki tries lighting a cigarette, but bursts into tears at the loss of his partner Himeno. Meanwhile, Denji overhears Aki crying behind the doors. He wonders why he isn't crying over Himeno's death. Denji admits that he wouldn't feel sad if Aki or Power died. Even though he'd feel terrible if Makima died, he would still move on with his life. Denji reflects on his lack of emotion and wonders if he even has a human heart. Later, Denji and Power leave the hospital as Kurose and Tendo enter Aki's room. They inform Aki that Makima has assigned them to be his advisors, and they introduce themselves as career coaches for the special division. Meanwhile, Denji and Power meet up with Makima at a graveyard. She introduces them to their new master, and he asks the two if they felt terrible when their teammates died, do they seek revenge, and if they were on the side of humans or devils. Without hesitation, Power and Denji give the man brutally honest answers, and the man says they passed his test. He asks Makima to leave as he wants to start their training immediately, and Makima leaves. After Makima is gone, the man reveals that he's a devil hunter from Division 1 named Kishibe. Without warning, Kishibe grabs Denji and Power and breaks their necks before dropping them to the ground. He informs them that their bone structure is similar to humans despite them being half devil, and that they have all the same weaknesses. In order to heal them, he pours blood into their mouths as they recover and asks why he attacked them. Kishibe says that the gun devil is after Denji's heart and that Makima wants him to train Denji and Power. Kishibe states that this is his first time training devils and reveals that he's the strongest devil hunter. In order to make the pair stronger, Kishibe plans to continuously hunt Denji and Power down until they're able to defeat him. As they charge at him, Kishibe uses his skills to make quick work of Power and Denji, leaving them on the ground once again. He confirms that Denji is immortal while Power is semi-immortal and promises to make them the best devil hunters. Meanwhile, at the hospital, Aki tries summoning the Fox Devil, but she doesn't respond to his call. Kurose tells Aki that the Fox Devil may not listen to him anymore since he abused her powers. Tendo informs Aki that if Aki plans to continue working as a devil hunter for the agency, he needs to form a contract with a stronger devil. Aki tells Tendo and Kurose that he doesn't plan on quitting, so Tendo and Kurose depart and promise to stop by tomorrow to hand Aki some paperwork. After the two leave, a mysterious woman arrives to greet Aki, and he is stunned by her appearance. Back at the graveyard, Kishibe tells Power and Denji that he'll be stopping his hunt for the night. As Kishibe leaves, he promises to visit them at their place tomorrow for more training. Power notices that Denji has completely lost his mind and proceeds to literally knock some sense into him as he asks her how many times he died today. Power informs him that he was killed over 20 times and that she went unconscious after he died, meaning that the death count was actually way higher. As Denji and Power head home, they complain about Kishibe's training regime. Power suggests they try fighting him using their brains, since Kishibe is an alcohol-obsessed drunk and his brain is probably rotten. The next day, Kishibe gets ambushed by Power and Denji, who have concocted a brilliant plan to defeat him. Power distracts him with blood spears, giving Denji a chance to attack him from behind with his axe. Unfortunately, Kishibe sees it all coming. He roundhouse kicks Denji to the floor and explains the reasons they lost to him. He says Power uses too much blood while fighting, and Denji failed to predict his attacks. As Kishibe departs to get more drinks, Denji tells Power that they're off the hook for the day, but a knife sticks into Denji's head. After his sudden attack, Kishibe comes back to tell the two that the prey shouldn't trust the hunter. Meanwhile, Tendo and Kurose lead Aki to a disclosed devil prison so he can form a contract with a stronger devil. As they walk past the cells of locked-up devils, Aki reveals that the girl who visited him was Himeno's sister. In a flashback, the girl hands Aki Himeno's letters. He learns that Himeno's father was ill and that she tried getting Aki to quit so he wouldn't die. In the present, they reach cell 108 as Kurose tells Aki they want him to form a contract with the devil inside. Inside the cell awaits the future devil, who has formed contracts with two other public safety officials. Kurose explains that the others had to pay ridiculous prices to use the future devil's powers and to be prepared. Aki enters the room as Kurose locks him inside, and the episode concludes with the future devil staring at him excitedly with its visible eye. Before we watch Aki gain a new power, take some time to answer the question of the day. What would be the most powerful devil contract? Let us know what you think in the comment section below. Every video we will pick one comment for a shoutout. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video for more content and a chance to be chosen. Now, onto the video. Aki walks up to the future devil and asks him what he'd like to trade in exchange for his abilities. The future devil tells Aki if he lets him reside in his right eye, he'll let him use his powers. This surprises Aki, and the future devil reveals that he will die in the worst way possible in the future. The future devil asks Aki if he would like to know how he'll die, but Aki doesn't care. He only cares about killing devils and tells the future devil to get in his eye. Meanwhile, Kishibe defeats Power and Denji during training, but feels they've improved. He announces he'll be training them once a week from now on, and informs them that they will soon chase after the Snake Girl and Katana Man who ambushed public safety while murdering Himeno. Later, Kishibe meets with Makima, and she thanks him for training Denji and Power. Kishibe admits he's growing tired of them, but feels he's growing attached to them. Irritated, Kishibe brings up the public safety ambush and is suspicious that Makima didn't do anything to stop it. Makima refutes his bold claims by reminding him that she got attacked as well, but Kishibe doesn't buy it. He tells Makima he doesn't care about what she does, as she's serving humanity's interests, and Makima informs him that she wants to protect humans from devils. After her remark, Kishibe calls her a liar, and she just smiles. In Tokyo, the Snake Girl and Katana Man discuss their failures and plans to capture Denji. Snake Girl is worried about Makima being alive and the mysterious powers she has. Undeterred, Katana Man reveals that they have an army of zombies that the Yakuza can unleash on public safety. As Kurose and Tendo drive Aki to public safety headquarters, Kurose asks Aki about his pursuit of the Gun Devil. He doesn't think Aki has what it takes to defeat him, and reveals that the Gun Devil also caused Tendo to join public safety. Aki admits that he doesn't care what he has to say, and they drop him off. Despite not seeing eye to eye, Kurose tells Aki that he'll be rooting for him and throws Aki a soda. Meanwhile, Makima meets with the Yakuza boss and asks for answers about the public safety ambush. Answering her question, the Yakuza boss shows Makima a picture of the Snake Devil user Sawatari, revealing that she linked the Yakuza into making deals with the Gun Devil. Makima asks the Yakuza boss to give her the names of everyone in his organization, alongside other families, but this doesn't sit well with them because it could lead to a massive war between factions. Makima hands the man a bag, and within it are the eyes of all the Yakuza's family members. Everyone in the room is repulsed, but Makima promises that the eyes will be returned if the Yakuza cooperate. This angers one of the Yakuza boss's men, but glaring into Makima's eyes causes the men to collapse to the ground. Meanwhile, public safety locates Katana Man's hideout and surrounds it. Sawatari plans to murder everyone around the building while securing Denji's heart. After that, she would summon the Snake Devil to help them escape from public safety. As Denji, Power, Aki, and Kobeni enter the building, Kishibe informs them that their task is to keep the first floor and basement areas of the building sealed off. He explains that the Special Division of Public Safety will deal with the terrorists inside, and warns them that this division consists of non-humans who will wreak havoc if they get outside. He brings up the Shark Fiend, Violence Fiend, Spider Devil, and Angel Devil while giving a brief overview of their abilities. Aki tells Denji, Power, and Kobeni to follow him and leave the zombies to the other fiends and devils. As they begin searching for Sawatari and Katana Man, the group splits up. As Aki searches for Sawatari, Makima clears the way with her mysterious abilities from afar. They meet face to face, and Sawatari notes that Aki has gotten stronger as they battle. Taunting him, she orders the Snake Devil to spit out the Ghost Devil that it consumed and orders the Ghost Devil to kill Aki. Aki uses the Future Devil's powers to peer into the future to dodge her attacks, but the Ghost Devil manages to grab Aki and begin choking him. After recalling a flashback with Himeno, we see Aki kneeling on the ground next to some of the Ghost Devil's arms. The Ghost Devil offers Aki a cigarette with the phrase, "Easy Revenge" written on it, and we cut to a flashback, where it's revealed that this cigarette was the very one Himeno was holding onto for Aki. In the past, Himeno explained that the Ghost Devil senses fear, but Aki has no fear toward the devil of his old friend. After taking the cigarette, he climbs on top of the unmoving Ghost Devil and chops its head off with his sword. Before Sawatari can summon the snake devil again, Kobeni approaches her from behind and holds a knife to her neck. Surprised to see her, Aki asks why she's still in public safety, and Kobeni tells Aki she's staying with public safety because they'll get their bonuses soon. Meanwhile, Denji and Power are in an elevator and plan to capture Katana Man. The elevator stops on a floor filled with zombies, and Power leaps into the fray, plunging into a bloodbath. With Power gone, Denji stays in the elevator to fight Katana Man alone. Once the elevator doors open, Denji sees Katana Man and prepares for battle, but asks him a question. He asks Denji to apologize for murdering everyone's family members that night, but Denji refuses, enraging Katana Man. Katana Man is bewildered by Denji's lack of guilt for murdering zombies, arguing that they were once humans too. Unsurprisingly, Denji doesn't care. Katana Man removes his hand and transforms as Denji pulls his cord. As the two clash, they fly through the air and battle it out on the rooftops of the nearby buildings. A kick from Katana Man sends Denji flying on top of a speeding subway train, and they pause their battle for a few minutes to discuss what Denji is fighting for. Denji admits he's fighting to protect the comfortable life he has right now and to be praised by Makima. Denji charges at Katana Man and they cross blades. Suddenly, Katana Man jumps into the air and kicks Denji into the train compartment below. The train reaches an emergency stop and all the pedestrians flee the area, leaving Denji and Katana Man in the abandoned train. In the blink of an eye, Katana Man cuts off two of Denji's arms and tells him to apologize for killing his grandpa. Refusing to give up, Denji taunts Katana Man into aiming for his head. As Katana Man destroys Denji's head chainsaw, Denji reveals that it was merely a distraction and uses the chainsaw on his foot to split the man apart. After the battle, Katana Man wakes up and finds himself tied down to the train. Denji approaches Katana Man and says he'll be waiting here with him until the police arrive. Continuing, Denji reminds Katana Man that he killed Himeno, and now there's one less hot lady in the world. Thus, Denji plans to hold a tournament, and Aki arrives after reporting Katana Man's capture to the higher-ups. Denji explains the tournament will involve him and Aki kicking Katana Man in the balls, and whoever can get the loudest scream out of him is the winner. Aki says he doesn't want to participate because making Katana Man suffer wouldn't make Himeno happy. But after looking at the cigarette the ghost devil gave him, Aki goes against his earlier judgment and decides to have some fun tormenting Katana Man. Meanwhile, Makima reports to her higher-ups about who staged the terrorist attack on public safety. We learned that Sawatari was a former civilian devil hunter who was working with the gun devil and had planned to steal the chainsaw devil's heart from Denji. One of the higher-ups asks Makima why Sawatari was after the heart, and Makima says that before they could get that intel, Sawatari used the snake devil to kill herself. Makima proposes it was involuntary suicide because of her contract with the gun devil. Despite this loss of information, Makima notes that the public safety seized over 1.4 kilos of gun devil flesh from inside the building and now has over 5 kilos of it. With all its flesh combined, Makima notes that the mass has started to move toward the gun devil itself. The gentleman asks Makima where it leads, but she doesn't respond. Later that night, Aki sits on his porch and lights the Easy Revenge cigarette. In the living room, Power and Denji sleep from a long day's work as we peer into Denji's mind. In this dream sequence, we can see that he's standing in front of the same door we saw in the first episode. In this dream, Denji is a child, and Pochita calls out to Denji from behind the door. Strangely, Pochita warns Denji to not open the door no matter what. We then cut to daytime, where we see a woman walking around the area and asking Denji if he prefers the city mouse or the country mouse. Then, Season 1 ends. Who was this mysterious woman? As the tension builds, we can't help but wonder, will Aki finally get the retribution he seeks? The answer, dear watchers, may have to wait until next season.